Hello, girls. Now I'm going to talk about the history of microbiology. First, let's talk about the definition of microbiology, as we discussed earlier. That is, microbiology. It is the study of microorganisms, which is too small to be seen with the naked eye. And the examples are bacteria, viruses, algae, fungi, and protozoa. So, what is the study of bacteria is called as bacteriology, study of algae is phycology, study of fungi is mycology, study of viruses is virology, study of protozoa is protozoology. So, we have two types of microbiology, one is theoretical and one is practical. So, theoretical, it is also known as pure microbiology. Practical, it is also known as applied microbiology. So, in theoretical, that is in pure microbiology, we will study the study of occurrence and its form, structure, classification, physiology, reproduction, and heredity. And in applied microbiology, we are going to study the beneficial and harmful activities of microbes. Under applied microbiology, we have medical microbiology, agricultural microbiology, industrial microbiology, food microbiology, and so we have under applied microbiology we have medical microbiology, agricultural microbiology, industrial microbiology, and food microbiology. So under medical microbiology we are going to study the role of microbes in causing diseases in humans and animals. And in agricultural microbiology, the role of microbes in plant diseases, soil fertility, and the spoilage of agricultural products. And in industrial microbiology we are going to study the utilization of microorganisms for the production of alcoholic beverages, antibiotics, amino acids, and organic acids. And in food microbiology we are going to study the role of microorganism in causing food spoilage and their prevention, and to increase the life of the various food products, and production of cheese, butter, and fermented milk. So now let's discuss the history of microbiology. So Anton van Leeuwenhoek, he is the father of microbiology. So he was a lens grinder in Holland. So what he did, he assembled simple microscopes, and in 1674, through his own microscope, he brought to light for the first time the existence of new world of microorganisms in his mouth, food, and stagnant water. And he observed them and named them as animalcules, that is microscopic animal. So this is the microscope which he made in 1674. This is the image what he observed in his microscope. So this is the observation what he observed in his own microscope. And so what he did was he outlined the structural details of paramecium, amoeba, certain filamentous fungi, algae, and bacteria. So before those days, scientists considered microbes only as the curiosities of nature. Now, now let's talk about the spontaneous generation. When you talk about the history of microbiology, we have to remember this spontaneous generation. This is nothing but it is abiogenesis. So you have a separate topic for this spontaneous generation. It is very important question, and it is 10 marks. It will definitely, you will get it in your exams. So spontaneous generation, it is nothing but the it is also known as abiogenesis. And it is so what is spontaneous generation? It is the formation of life from non-living substances is called as spontaneous generations or abiogenesis. So Aristotle, So he is also one of the scientists. In 384 to 322 BC, he suggested that maggots is nothing but the flies. So he suggested that maggots develop spontaneously in decaying matter. So he suggested that the maggots develop spontaneously from the in the decaying matter. But other scientists they disproved that. They said that it is microorganism cannot develop spontaneously. So a living organism arise only from the pre-existing organisms. So the theory of spontaneous generation was disproved by a scientist Reddy, Francisco Reddy, Lazaro Spallanzani, and Louis Pasteur. They experimentally proved that microorganisms cannot arise spontaneously from decaying meat or flesh. So worms, maggots, and microorganisms develop from decaying flesh only from the eggs and spores already deposited by the insects or air, etc. So when the decaying flesh is sealed from the external agents, life cannot appear spontaneously from the flesh. So hence, Louis Pasteur and the other scientists disproved the theory of spontaneous generation, and they argued that life originated from pre-existing life only. So this concept is called as biogenesis. So you will get a question in your exams about spontaneous generation, that is abiogenesis and biogenesis, and what is the difference between abiogenesis and biogenesis, and you have it in your notes. So he is Francisco Reddy, and Italian physician. So he carried out series of experiments on decaying meat and its ability to produce maggots spontaneously. So what he did, he Reddy placed meat in 3 jars. So first jar was left open, and the flies laid eggs on the meat, which developed into maggots. The next jar was covered with netting. The flies laid eggs on the netting, developed into maggots on the netting. The next jar was sealed, so no maggots developed on the meat. So this experiment proved that the maggots developed from fly eggs, not from the meat. Thus, and hence, Reddy disproved the spontaneous generation. So next scientist was Louis Pasteur. What he did was he prepared a swan neck flask tube. Using this experiment, he disproved the theory of spontaneous generation, which is abiogenesis. What he did was he boiled the flask of broth, then left them open to the air, and any of life force life appears. So what he did was he boiled the flask of broth is nothing but the meat soup. So what he did, and the broth in swan neck flask, when left open in air and any of life force, no life appears because the S-shaped curvature trapped the microbes. In swan neck flask, what happened, he boiled the broth. I'll show you the experiment here. What he did was he boiled the broth, and it was left open. What happened was the microorganism got trapped in the swan neck tube, and hence the soup was sterile. The no microorganisms was there. So the curve of the flask prevents outside air from entering the flask, so no contamination occurs. When the neck of the flask is broken off, bacteria reach the sterile broth and organism growth occurs. So next we have Agostino Bassi. He demonstrated that a silkworm disease was due to a fungal infection, the first report that a microorganism could cause disease. Agostino Bassi, he is the first person to say that the microorganism causes diseases. That is, a silkworm disease was caused by a fungal infection. Next is Edward Jenner. He in 1796 he used vaccination for against smallpox. Edward Jenner, when you remember Edward Jenner, just remember smallpox. He introduced vaccination against smallpox. And next is Robert Koch, Louis Pasteur. They are the founder of microbiology. Anton van Leeuwenhoek, Louis Pasteur, and Robert Koch. All these three scientists, they are the founder of microbiology. Then Joseph Lister. So when you talk about Joseph Lister, you have to just remember about the antiseptic surgery. He is the first person to introduce antiseptic surgery. So he developed an awareness that infectious diseases were caused by microorganisms and the chain of transmission could be broken, which leads to sterilization practices in hospitals. He introduced pasteurization and sterilization. So I will give you 2 mark questions on sterilization, fermentation, and pasteurization, which is very important, 2 marks. Next is Chamberlain. He made possible the discovery of viruses and their role in diseases. He also discovered a bacterial filter. Ivanovsky, he discovered tobacco mosaic virus, which is shortly called as TMV, the first viral pathogen studied. Next is Buchner. He is famous for the development of biochemistry. Next is father of industrial microbiology, Louis Pasteur. He is father of industrial microbiology, he is father of medical microbiology, and is also a father of immunology. So he disproved spontaneous generation, and he first demonstrated that air contained microbes, and he also discovered aerobic and anaerobic lives, and he established the germ theory of fermentation. Chemical changes like fermentation are vital processes brought about by the activity of microbes like yeast and bacteria. So he established the germ theory of disease, which is microorganisms are responsible for infectious diseases. He developed various methods of sterilization: steam sterilization, hot air oven, and autoclave. He coined the term vaccine, and he developed vaccines for anthrax and rabies. So what is germ theory of disease? It states the germ theory of disease is nothing but the infectious diseases are caused by microbes. So F.J. Kohn, he developed he discovered binary fission, the common method of multiplication in bacteria. He discovered endospores for certain bacteria form extremely resistant spores like Bacillus subtilis and Clostridium botulinum. They have a spores around them which is extremely resistant. They also produce some toxin. Okay. So next is we have the contribution of Robert Koch. So he is the father of medical microbiology. So he we have a question called on your exam called Robert Koch postulates. It is very important, 5 marks for you. Robert Koch postulates. So I have given the notes for that. So he also discovered bacillus of tuberculosis, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and the cholera vibrio. So this is the Koch postulates. So Robert Koch, he developed a series of procedures by which a specific organism could be related to a specific disease. So what the Koch postulates is nothing but specific organism causes specific disease. So these steps are called as Koch postulates. So first, the microorganism must be present in every case of the disease but absent from healthy organisms. The suspected microorganism must be isolated and grown in a pure culture. The same disease must result when the isolated microorganism is inoculated into a healthy host. The same microorganism must be isolated again from the diseased host. And by these procedures, a specific organism could be related to a specific disease. He also developed many staining methods for bacteria. He developed pure culture technique and use of solid culture medium to grow bacteria. So Ernest Ruska and Max Knoll, they developed electron microscope. So electron microscope was developed by Ernest Ruska and Max Knoll. So Alexander Fleming, so famous, he discovered the antibiotic penicillin from Penicillium notatum, which destroys staphylococci, the first antibiotic produced from microorganisms. So Beadle and Tatum, so what they did, they isolated biochemical mutants in Neurospora crassa, and they discovered one gene and one enzyme hypothesis. And they developed recombinant DNA technology, that is gene cloning. It is also called as gene cloning or genetic engineering. He also produced many pharmaceutical products like human insulin, hormones, vaccines, etc. So we have a space microbiology as well. So if you want to know, it is nothing but a branch of exobiology investigating the possibility of extraterrestrial life and the effects of extraterrestrial environments on living organisms from the earth. So we studied earlier the scope of microbiology. So virologists, they study viruses, bacteriologists studies bacteria, phycologists study on algae, mycologist on fungi, protozoologist on protozoa. So we have different fields like microbial morphology, microbial physiology, microbial cytology, microbial ecology, microbial genetics and molecular biology, microbial taxonomy, medical microbiology, public health microbiology, food microbiology, dairy microbiology, and immunology. So microbes, they are extremely useful as experimental materials. They are very simple, which can grow rapidly, and we can culture in large quantities in test tubes, flasks, and they require very less space and maintenance than large plants and animals, and easy to work with material for studying complex process of metabolism. So microbes can be used to study the synthesis of antibiotics, toxins, energy production, survival mechanism in harsh environmental conditions, microbial nitrogen fixation, etc. So this is the history of microbiology. So we will discuss. I have given the notes, very simple notes on the history of microbiology. You can refer both the slide share and the history of microbiology, which I given the notes. So here you might get a 2 marks on who discovered, like, what is the contribution of Anton van Leeuwenhoek, or the contribution of Louis Pasteur. So you might get in 2 marks or 5 marks. So you need to know who discovered what. So Linnaeus, he classified the microorganisms as Infusoria in 1767. In 1773, Muller classified the bacteria and coined the term Vibrio and Monas. In 1798, Edward Jenner, he introduced vaccination for the prevention of smallpox through inoculation of cowpox virus. Next, Agostino Bassi showed that the silkworm disease muscardine was caused by a fungus, botrytis. Theodore Swan demonstrated that yeast causes fermentation. Louis Pasteur proposed the theory of spontaneous generation. Robert Koch discovered bacillus. Joseph Lister, he used surgical appliances and antiseptic dressing to save the surgical wounds from the entrance of bacteria. Louis Pasteur, he introduced the concept of pasteurization, and he also discovered vaccines against rabies. Albert Nasser discovered the gonococcus bacteria, the causative agent of gonorrhea. Hans Christian Gram, he introduced the Gram staining technique for bacteria. Robert Koch isolated the tubercle bacillus and proved that it was the causative agent of tuberculosis. Louis Pasteur, he laid the foundation for Pasteur Institute in Paris, where microbiology was extensively studied. Bajonic isolated and studied root nodule bacteria. Vinogradski discovered nitrogen fixing bacteria from soil. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin. He was called the father of antibiotics. John Tyndall developed fractional sterilization to kill spores, which is called as Tyndallization. Fanny Hesse, he suggested the use of agar-agar as a solidifying agent for microbiological media. Paul Ehrlich discovered the modern concept of chemotherapy, and Salk introduced polio vaccine. Waxman discovered streptomycin. So we have to study about the fermentation, sterilization, pasteurization, and tyndallization. You might get in 2 marks. So that's it for today. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me in WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you so much.